Yeah, warm welcome to you all. Today we can discuss about linear regression in machine learning. We can consider this linear regression with an example. If you want to estimate a profit of a company, we can get a clear idea of which companies we can invest. First, the venture capital firm can clearly give us the idea in which company we can invest. First, we have to decide the companies to invest. We have to identify the companies which are making more profits. And also we have to define based on the expenses made by the company. If you want to calculate the profit of a company, the following four categories are very important. The first one is R&D department, okay, the research and development department. The second one is marketing. The third one is that their locations, where the company is located all around the world, and the final one is their administrative process. So based on these categories, we can able to calculate the profit of that particular company. For example, here we can consider a single variable, that is research and development, and find out which companies is best to invest. So here we can plot a graph between R&D and their profit. Okay. So after plotting the graph, we have to draw that regression line. Okay. Here we can find out that the company that is having a very good research and development, that can make a good profit. So a customer can identify that we can invest in those companies, those who are having high profit in their research and development. Regression line that can be drawn with the help of the profit made by the company. We can see with another example. Okay, now this is a crop field and this is the amount of rainfall. So based on these amount of rainfall, we can predict how much amount of crop we are going to have this year. Okay, so here this crop field is a dependent variable and this amount of rainfall, that is a independent variable. So based on the amount of rainfall, we can deduct how much amount crop we are going to yield every year. The amount of rainfall, that is a independent variable, and this crop yielding is a dependent variable. Here this independent variable, which is that amount of rainfall, is denoted as capital X, and this crop yielding is represented as Y. Crop yielding, that is depend on the amount of rainfall, that is denoted by the variable X. So we can split the data into numerical and categorical value. Normally our age, salary, height, that keeps on changing. Okay, so these are all the numerical values, and here the categorical values are the color, the gender. Okay, so these things comes under the categorical values. Okay, so normally the machine learning algorithm is classified into supervised, unsupervised and reinforcement type of learnings. Okay, so the supervised is classified into that regression and classification types. Okay, so now the regression is subdivided into simple linear regression, multiple linear regression and polynomial linear regression. So when we go for that linear regression, we are going to examine the two factors. Okay, first one is that the variables that determine the outcomes. The second one is that how significant is this regression line. So these are the two factors that should be examined to predict the accuracy level in a high manner. To understand the linear regression, you have to consider the equation y is equal to mx plus c. Here this y, it is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. That small m, that represents the slope of the line, which is denoted by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Here this is y2 and this is y1, and here it is x1 and x2. So this is y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. This ratio that provide the value of the slope of the line. Okay, then the c that represents the coefficients of the line. Here the regression line is predicted first based on the amount of rainfall to that crop yielding. So this line that represents the regression line. This red point that represents the amount of crop that you are yielding, and this green dot that represents the amount of rainfall that you are getting. Let us we can find the idea behind this regression line. Now let us consider with the sample data sets x and y with 5 rows. It is x and this is y. Now we can plot graph for this values. So 2 for 1 2, this is 2 4 and this is 3 5 and this is 4 4 and this is 5 5. So this is the first step is to plot the data points. And the next one is that we are going to find the mean value of this independent and dependent variable. Here it is 3 and here it is 4. We have to draw this regression line that through pass through the mean value of x and y, which is 3 comma 4. That is drawn here in this orange dotted line. To find the values of x square, y square and x into y. Okay, x square is calculated from this value of x and y square is calculated from this value y. Then x star y, which is the product of this column and this column. Now the summation of all the values are given here. Summation of x, summation of y, summation of x square, summation of y square and summation of x and y is represented in the bottom of the table. Okay, now we have to find the value of y, that is m into x plus c. So we are having the value of x. The only thing we have to note is how to find the value of m and c. So here the linear equation is represented by the value of y is equal to mx plus c. This is how we can find the value of m, which is the slope of the line, and c that represents the coefficient value. So here it is found as 0.6. So when you are taken the x value as 3, we can find the m value as 0.6 and the coefficient value is found as 2.22. So that y is equal to 4. So likewise you have to plot for all the values. Here this is y is equal to m into x plus c. Here the m values are constant for all the variables, and for that c, that is also constant for all the variables. The thing that is changing is this x value. Here it is 1 2 3 4 5. So these are the values that we have taken already. So that values are changing here. So y is equal to 2.8 when x equal to 1, y is equal to 3.4 when x equal to 2. Similarly for all the values we can find the y. Okay, so the values that we find are all noted as predicted value of y. Okay, so now to find out that the blue points that represents the actual y values and that brown color dots that represents the predicted y values. So now we have to find the error. Error can be found out by making a difference between the actual and the predicted value. X, y, the predicted value of y, then y minus y prediction, then the square of that value. Okay, so this is to find out the best fit line. Okay, the best fit line, we have to minimize the distance between the line and the points by make use of the mean square error and root mean square error and some of the absolute error methods. So now we can see about the multiple linear regression. The main difference between the simple and multiple linear regression is that for simple linear regression we can take the equation as y is equal to mx plus c. Here in multiple linear regression we are having multiple independent variables x1 x2 x3 and multiple slope values, which is given by m1 m2 m3 and up to mn value. You can see how we can implement this multiple linear regression with the help of Python. So we are going to investigate 1,000 companies. So based on their expenditure and based on the profit, so we can get a clear idea of where we have to invest it. So if you want to predict the profit of 1,000 companies, the number one thing that should be noted is the amount of money that should be spent for the research and development, and the second one is their administration standards, then the marketing spend, then the fourth one is where the company is located. Where the company is located all around the world, how many locations it's having, like that we have to note it. From this we can predict the profit. During the implementation is we have to import the libraries, then we have to extract the dependent and independent variables, so x and y, to extract the values of x and y. So we have to put a separate table. We can get the values of R&D spend amount, administration, their marketing spend, and the states where it is located, then their profits that we can obtain. The third step in implementation is the data visualization, which gives the clear graphical representation of the data we obtained. The fourth one is that encoding, categorizing data. So here we can encode the data that we obtained during the data visualization. So fifth one helps to avoid the dummy variable. Then in the sixth step, we are splitting the data into training and testing set. Then fitting that regression model, multiple regression model into the training data set. Finally, in the eighth step, we predicted the test results. So these are the obtained test results. Ninth step, we calculating the coefficients and intercept values. Finally, we evaluate the model, and after evaluating, we get the value as 0.911, which proves that the model is a very good model with high accuracy. And now with the help of this linear regression, we can successfully estimate the profit of the companies. Some applications of this linear regression: a country's economic growth can be improved. We can predict the price of a particular product. Anyone want to buy a house in the future, we can predict the price. And it can also help to predict the score when a cricket match is going on. We can able to predict how many runs that a team can score and how many runs a particular player can score. That also we can able to predict with the help of this linear regression. I hope you understand the concept of this linear regression in machine learning. Meet you in the next video. Till then, it's goodbye from Vijay.